Hey y'all, and welcome to another edition of Vlog Friday here on Dr. Princess. Today's topic is to describe your favorite childhood toy, and this one was a no-brainer for me. My favorite toy for years and years and years was my American Girl doll. I had Felicity, shocker, for those of you familiar with the series. For those of you unfamiliar with the series, American Girl dolls were based on a series of books, the American Girl books. And there were 6 books, I believe, for each girl, and each girl was from a different period of time in American history. So Felicity grew up during the Revolutionary War. There were 4 American girls back in my day before they started adding some more. I think the 5th one, Addie, was added right when I was just starting to get a little too old to play with them, but so there were 4. Felicity was Revolutionary War. Kirsten was like Manifest Destiny, Westward Expansion era. Samantha, who's the doll that my sister had, was Victorian. And Molly was World War II. So the books were educational and discussed kind of what was going on in America during that time and what life was like for girls back then. But it also featured a young, strong female character that you could relate to and look up to. So, just a really brilliant series of books, and the nerd in me to this day really appreciates that concept. So, I had Felicity, and this is kind of a 2-part story here. Um, the American Girl dolls are ridiculously expensive. I think now they're like $85. So 20 years ago, it was still somewhere around there, and that was a lot of money for back then, and now even I know it's obscene. It's just ridiculous for it to be that much money. And oh, but they were so special, and the amount of detail that went into each one and each of their historic accessories was just mind blowing. And I don't know, but you couldn't just get the doll. You had to get the whole package, and it wasn't just the $85 doll, it was like $115 to get these 3 accessories and the book, which you already had with the doll. But that's what you just had to get. And like I said, there were 6 books for each doll. So, oh, you want to have the birthday party set and the Christmas set. And each of these accessories, the really cheap ones were like $15 to $20. And some of the pieces of furniture you could get were like up to $100 for toys. So growing up, we didn't really have that kind of money. I don't really know many families who did. And so my mom decided that she really liked this concept of this series of books, and of course wanted to encourage the fact that my sister and I were so into not only educational historical books, but strong female characters and a young heroine that we could admire and look up to. So she made it her DIY project. We each got a doll that was kind of a cheaper version of Felicity and Samantha. And my mom went to Michael's, oh my gosh, back then it seemed like all the time, daily. It was probably weekly or monthly. But if there was an accessory that Felicity had that I just had to have, my mom would make a knockoff. She would recreate it. Felicity had a little basket of flowers. My mom would get this little Christmas ornament basket for $1 at Michael's and hot glue little fabric flowers in it instead of the $35, twine and tweed and dried flower one that you could buy in the catalog. So it's one thing to be spoiled with money, but to be spoiled with that much love and creativity, I just feel very lucky to this day. My mom is awesome. Mom, if you're watching this, awesome. So the part 2 to this story is that one year, my grandfather, who had a little bit more money than our family had, and who was incredibly generous, decided to give my sister and I the real American Girl dolls as presents. And so that was my Felicity doll, and of course I loved her to death. But I think even at that young age, on some level, I felt some sort of loyalty to this old doll that my mom had spent so much time making costumes for and building accessories for, that I decided to make that doll Nan, who in the books is Felicity's best friend. So I played with both of them for years and years and years, and my sister did the same thing with Samantha and her friend, and we would play with our dolls together for hours. And so it was kind of like I I just felt very lucky on both ends to have my mom put that much time towards something and my grandfather to put that much money towards something. So to this day, thinking about those toys that we grew up with, it makes me feel very loved, and it's kind of an awesome memory. And it's also the reason why I cry my eyes out during that scene in Toy Story 2 where Jessie is remembering her previous owner, Emily, because Emily stopped playing with her because she's a doll and kids grow up. And it makes me feel very disloyal and sad to my toys. But unlike Jessie, I never gave my dolls away. I still have them, both of them, the real one and the knockoff, in storage to give to my daughter someday. So, awesome topic, whoever came up with it. This one was fun to talk about. I hope y'all have a nice weekend. See you next time.